There is no doubt that life is given us not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be simply gotten over. Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent tries to use it. The closing years of life are like the end of a masquerade party when the masks are all dropped. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. That when you're buying books, you're optimistically thinking you're buying the time to read them. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. All truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being simply self-evident. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death. Money is human happiness in the abstract. The bad thing about all religions is that instead of being able to confess their allegorical nature, they have to conceal it. And life is a constant process of dying. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. Everyone takes the limits of his own vision for the limits of the world. We seldom think of what we have, but always think of what we lack. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Any foolish boy can stamp on a beetle, but all the professors in the world cannot make a beetle. Compassion is the true basis of morality. You can never say about a walker that he is making detours. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. And there is not much to be got anywhere in the world. It is filled with misery and pain. The difficulty is to try and teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. No one can get out of their individuality. The safest way of not being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain. What people commonly call fate is mostly their own stupidity. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. After your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Reading is simply thinking with someone else's head instead of one's own. If you want to know your true opinion of someone, watch the effect produced in you by the first sight of a letter from him. Revoke a wrong view requires more character than to defend it. 9/10 of our happiness depends on our health alone. So the problem is not much to see what nobody has yet seen, as to think what nobody has yet thought concerning that which everybody sees. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be a good man. A pessimist is an optimist in full possession of the facts. The longer a man's fame is likely to last, the longer it will be in coming. Great men are like eagles and build their nests on some lofty solitude. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. We are not just responsible for what we do, but also for what we accept without any contradictions. Every nation ridicules other nations, and all of them are right. In action, a great heart is the chief qualification. In work, a great head. Time is that in which all things pass away. Health is not everything, but without health, everything is simply nothing. The majority of men are not capable of thinking, but only of believing, and are not accessible to reason, but only to authority. Music is the melody whose text is the world. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. One should use common words to say uncommon things. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become, and the same is true of fame. To overcome difficulties is to experience the full delight of existence. Treat a work of art like a prince, let it speak to you first. Any book which is at all important should be reread immediately. Remember, each day is a little life. Every waking and rising a little birth, every fresh morning a little youth, every going to rest and sleep a little death. Which quote did you like the most? Please let us know in the comments below.